Thanks for checking in to your national coast-to-coast forecast here on this Thursday. It is June 8th. We're talking about some lingering Florida rain. Nice to see that rain over the last several days. Unfortunately, we had some pretty major flooding in some areas, with some areas actually picking up double-digit rainfall tallies. Now, we are still tracking some spotty severe weather concerns, and over the next several days, we're going to have a temperature transition. It has been quite chilly over the eastern third of the nation, eastern half of the nation over the last few days, and it looks like that will start to fade as we head into the weekend. Today, though, still anywhere from 10 to 15 degrees below average, but this is the warmer air that is going to start to move on in. As you can see, there's a ridge of high pressure developing there. That's actually going to get kicked east as a pretty strong area of low pressure from the Gulf of Mexico moves on in. And temperatures at that point by the weekend and early next week will be significantly colder. We're talking 10 to 20 plus degree below average temps, maybe even cold enough for some mountain snow there. And then as that colder air moves into the western U.S., the warmer air pushes east. So the extended outlook again shows that we're going to be fairly mild even into the third weekend of June over the mid-Atlantic states. Pretty warm over the southwest as well. And as I mentioned, some spotty severe weather concerns. It's a slight risk over the northern Rockies there, and then a marginal threat kind of snaking into the Midwest. We have another slight risk on Friday in North Dakota in the Red River Valley, and then by Saturday, marginal threat from Minneapolis into the Great Lakes region. So kind of keeping an eye on that thunder threat over the northwest today, and the rain moving on in, but there's your lingering rain over parts of Florida. Again, nice to see that. A little bit of rain actually kind of clipping the northeast today. Long Island, the Cape, Boston, you'll be dealing with a cool rainy day. And then here comes all that moisture in the western U.S. with some spots picking up nearly an inch of rain or more. And over a 5-day period, some spots could actually get quite a bit of rainfall. Then there's that snowfall potential mainly in the mountains. So 106 today in Phoenix. We're at 75 in D.C. and warming up in New York at 72.